waiting game. They want to see if Mousesports are going to go crazy and push anywhere, which they're not. So everyone's waiting now.
Yeah, it's really interesting. I think this is a great opener because you have Oscar who tries to scout for any quick rushes towards A, because normally you'd be afraid of retaking A. B can be oftentimes easier to retake because you can just try to hold on to some of the more defensible positions. But once A is taken and they lock down the double doors and the balcony, it's really impossibly hard as the CTs to get in there. So I like how Mousesports are using a player for information, but now it's just a huge question. So Fnatic, I think, have waited the perfect amount of time, because look at the rotation now from Mousesports. They're starting to move back to A as the push is ready to go into B.
And they're going to sell that just a bit with the peek from Flusher. Is he going to keep Sunny here? He's actually falling back. This is a great read from Mousesports right now. Still thinking about it, but they might have the setup, and I especially like Stiko in that back line by the chicken coop. Jumping down first is Crims. He's going to get shot down. Chris with a second headshot. Finally, there's a reply. And Sunny in the corner by the rock will take down JW. Bomb is down on the floor, but it's only 25 seconds, and they don't even know how to deal with Stiko yet. I don't even think now they realize, and Flusher will take him down. Stiko peeking before the bomb plant attempt is a big mistake. Lecro fighting out in the open now. He's going to try and put it down at least a single time here. Sunny's got a headshot on Flusher, so it's just on Lecro, and they've got him boxed in. 7 seconds, 6 seconds, trying to see if he can rush anyone down. 5 seconds, and he goes down to Oscar. It will be Mousesports winning the round, but that could have gone either way at the end. That was very close. This is nuts from Chris. Oh my god.
No way. That is insane. He was actually still a bit like partially flashed as well. That is so sick from Chris. Wow, that's quite the start, isn't it? And that's what you want to see on the CT. So I get that economy rolling in. Fnatic unable to get the bomb down. They're going to just go for the force buy, as you would expect. And they're making a move in large part towards the A site. They've got 4 members going down towards these positions. Oscar's waiting for it. Sunny's waiting for it. Sunny spots it. And now the rotation will start to come in from Mousesports. They're in such a good position right now.
Yes, especially because they want that economy, and a double-up setup on this map can be very effective. I don't think we've seen even half of what Oscar can really do with that weapon. I feel like he's slow out the gates in this best of 3, but if he can change it now, it will have been worth the wait. He's just that good at it. Sunny and Oscar holding over on this side. It looks like there could be a lot of action, and Golden has 1 flashbang. Sometimes that's enough.
Absolutely, it can always have the opportunity to turn the tide, but this is a great position from Sunny too. Look at that, JW just unable to answer back at all to that position. Sunny sticks with the position despite not using a silencer, despite his position sort of being given away, but it doesn't matter. It's such a strong position. He knows he's against pistols, and now he will finally drop off as they start to hear all the pins coming out of those grenades. And Mousesports, they know what's going on right now, but they're still holding on to 2 players deep in the B position, so maybe there's a chance for Fnatic.
Yeah, they really don't want to over-rotate, but look at the distance here between the rifles and the pistols. Should be a good fight for Sunny, although Crim's coming in with ridiculous headshots. Flusher to follow it up. My god, what's happening? This should have been easy for Mousesports. They knew what was coming, as you said, and I agree. They fell back to put some distance between them and the guns, and this happened. Crims happened.
That is insane. That's kind of like there's 2 shots that Chris J made, where it's like 2 incredibly fast shots where there's just no allowance for your opposition to do anything. Basically, there's just no chance, and that's crazy. So, well, how do you explain that one, Anders? How do you explain that one?
Just some Swedish Counter-Strike.
Do you need some A4 paper and a pen? And
yes,
crayons.
Yeah, we could get if we could get someone to the casting desk, maybe he could help us out.
Yeah.
I'd be very interested. Whenever he says cheese, because I've been watching The Wire too much, I just think of Method Man in that role. It's cheese.
And here it is.
It's the best.
Oh, God. And you don't think it can get any more grotesque?
Yeah. Would have been great if he could got the 3rd, but I think that was stolen from him by a teammate. So, well done on Crims. Ties up the scoreline early on. And things always get strange now. This is where you wonder if you're Mousesports. And they'll force into this round. Most people do. Most teams do. Which is just fine. But, yeah, it's a dangerous game to be playing.
Yeah, it absolutely is. It's really interesting to see how this will go now, because Mousesports, they are in a position where they have to go for the force buy. So they're not fighting with pots and pans. Or if they are, it's a very... don't know where I'm going with this, but it's something, Anders. They can fight with something here. They've got...
It's not Team Fortress, Dan.
That's a very good point, yes.
Otherwise, it would be the worst addition to that game, by the way.
I can imagine that you as a big fan of that game, I can only imagine how emotionally tied you are to those situations.
Yeah, it's interesting for a while, but spiraled out of control. Lecro charging in here, and Oscar will get the one kill, but a good follow-up there. Nice little train coming in towards the A-bomb site. Looked like a bit of a failed grenade on one of them, and now they're taking a long time. And I don't like this slowdown from Fnatic. If you really want to commit to this, and it looks like they're not even sure if this is strange.
I agree.
At this point, just give this one up. You've got 50 seconds.
It's really weird because I feel like they made a really good decision to go together against worse weapons. They can trade in this very wide sort of position that is the middle ramp into the A-bomb site. They have good timing. And that's like the perfect scenario for you. However, they are rotating through the B, and it looks like it could work out, though.
Look how far up Stico is. He's going to have very advanced warning. Golden goes down, but he sees the bomb. So now they definitely know what's up. There's 20 seconds left, and they are going to get onto the bomb side here. Robs, I don't think he can stop them. He only has a pistol, so it's going to be hard for him to shut down the entire Fnatic team coming through. 14 seconds now, and there's Chris down. What a great spray, followed up by JW to take down Robs. And Sunny walking in behind. Great decision-making for Fnatic. This was way more about the decisions than it was about the aim.
Yeah, this worked out really well. I like it. I didn't have the utmost confidence sometimes, because one of those situations where you're like, well, this is a good situation for you. Are you going to risk it? But it worked. They read it very well, and it worked out fantastically for them. And it's quite the turnaround. After that pistol round, Mousesports, they looked like they were in a great position to sort of get some momentum going, but they've been stopped right at the beginning before they could get going, and now they have to eco on the CT side of Cobblestone. It's never fun. And I'm always curious to see, how much effort is put into the anti-eco of a team in this position, because you can run such well-routined and precise drills with all the grenades and so on. And some teams are more lazy with it than others.
Yeah. Like Fnatic just saying, Lecro, you go and clear out drop and see what happens after that. We'll make up our minds. It is working just fine, though. Stico did run down 2 players close range to pick up an M4. Could have been a third, but Lecro will close it out. 3 kills with the MAC-10, and he steals the M4 as well. So all good right now. 1-3, and the 5th round is coming up here, and Mousesports have rifles once again. Doesn't look like it's going to be any AWPs, though. No, indeed. So that's a bit of a shame. Again, when you have someone like Oscar, you want that gun on him.
Yeah, it looks like if they lose this round, it's going to be a long time until we see it. And I like it from the perspective that they are able to get a lot more grenades. And still, they're not in a position where they have all the grenades, even with that decision to give up the AWP for that. So I have to see if that's successful. Obviously, we saw this setup here on A being taken advantage of. I think it's by Immortals, actually, where they were able to actually just slowly push one player down middle, and he managed not to be spotted through danger. So they just realized, oh, they're playing a 2-3 setup, and there's no one in middle. And then they creep the entire team up there. That's like the one weakness, is the blind spots when you play a 2-man setup on the A-long position. But Fnatic are taking a very slow pace because they're trying to give JW that time to work their AWP.
Yeah, he's very clearly being used as a bit of an instrument to try and open up on a bomb site, but interestingly, Mousesports aren't really giving him many choices. They're just controlling long, and they say, fine, if you want to go up the ramp in middle, you can, but by the time you meet Robs, we're going to be shooting at the side of your face as well, so it's going to be a bit of a trap if they end up heading towards the A-bomb side. Golden is sneaking down into drop, though, but Chris will take him out. That's a hugely important kill now for Fnatic. Surely the game is up. Mousesports must know what's coming next. And Oscar hiding in this little fortress to take down Flusher. This is all completely falling apart.
This read from Mousesports is so strong. Great positional plays, great team play.
Yeah.
Managed the situation really calmly.
As soon as Golden goes down and drop, if Golden had won the fight against Chris, I think they would have won the round. But when he doesn't, and then they hear the grenades on A, they know. They definitely know what's coming. Yeah, this is a critical kill for Chris.
It's a great off angle too. He set it up so wonderfully well.
Yeah.
And Mousesports, they have some fire in them. I like this. It means we'll be able to hopefully see an AWP, indeed we will, from Chris J. And now with that AWP in hand, will things start to get interesting? Of course, you are somewhat limited on the CT side, but it is just fun to see Chris J pulling that trigger.
He can be very fast, and Fnatic surely know it. And because they don't have an AWP of their own right now, are they going to try and see if they could use the grenades instead? Lots of these positions that you can grenade out, especially the one that Chris is in right now. We saw Config when North were playing this map was very good at throwing Molotovs to the chicken coop from the plateau without really showing himself too much, so that could be a theme here. Chris is going to be moving all the way in, still scoped up. Doesn't want to scope too much in case he gives up the position. Stiko's behind him as well, so it's an interesting setup. Stiko could go down to Lekro's Molotov if they eventually go and check it.
And this is interesting right now because we're at 50 seconds and Mousesports don't know 100% what's happening. I love the timing of the resmoke here. This makes it much more awkward for Fnatic to run the execution, and now Mousesports starting to push in. They're starting to understand what's going on. They've got a great setup. Oscar's flank timing is going to be impeccable, but there is a player looking for this. Flush is going there to watch the back, and that's a great spray through the smoke here. Down to Chris J, but he can't get much.
This is very sad to watch. Oscar did get the kill, but Mousesports had set themselves up so nicely. Sunny going to be going down, and Rob's in the back with the M4. There's a headshot once, drops the bomb as well. And with 15 seconds, it's suddenly a 2 versus 2. Let's see what he can do. He's looking for the triple. The bomb is now being planted right in front of him. He gets the triple, and there's the kill from Oscar to close out the round. What a great play from Robs. He was kept his cool all the way through. That was about to unravel for Mousesports, but that young player just coming in big in this round.
Oh, absolutely. One of the things I love about Robs is when you see him in these clutch spots like this, it's so rare he's just not super calm. Like some players might, their mouse movement might be a bit more chaotic because he knows in that position that he's making the play that wins or loses the round for his team. A very important round. Yet he's still just very clean as if it was any other situation. And that's one of the things I like about him, and that's going to be the 3-3. And more importantly, Fnatic on a very poor economy again, giving Mousesports an opportunity to claim momentum. And in knowing that, they pick up the MP9 for Sunny.
Should point out, those were the only 3 kills that Robs has this game, or at least this map. So that's a high-impact round. Just won it almost on his own. Fnatic charging over at long, looking for a fight, and they're gonna get it. Sunny somehow not able to return the damage. That's a bit of a shame, and a bit weird.
Yeah, I mean, the other thing too is that he was attacking, like, it was perfect for him. He was attacking a player with an MP9 when that player didn't have a helmet as well. So he's quite unfortunate not to just get the kill pretty quickly there, and in fact, as you say, didn't really do much at all. And now it really falls upon Oscar, and Oscar's gonna hear some of the grenades thrown over. And now I think for Mousesports, they're wondering, actually, hang on, is this actually going to be an A play? Because they're starting to drift, they're starting to rotate towards A, but we can see on the minimap that Fnatic are setting up B as well.
Yes, they are. Golden trying to make his presence more than it is on that side. Shooting through the smoke is rarely much of a selling point. That's a nice smoke coming in from Fnatic, making sure the players holding at the door can't really see anything now. They've made the crossover. The bomb is going to be... Oh, well, it won't be going down. I thought JW was going to be there. He does get a kill, and Lekro with a headshot. Still a bit of time, but Lekro's alone. 1 versus 2, looking for more. He thought that was going to happen. Robs now doubling his kills to 6.
I think you're right there. That was definitely greedy by JW. He's thinking, oh man, I want to play this smoke. I want to get through the smoke. I want to get some kills, as opposed to, hang on, there's a gap in the smoke, and we really need to get that bomb down. And if the CTs want to actually push us, they have to go through that gap in the smoke. And so that's unfortunate that it turned out that way. Had the bomb gone down, who knows what Fnatic could have accomplished.
Certainly would have had a bit more money in this round. 4-3 though. Mousesports, I think, are they're on the right path here. That's some fantastic spray from Flusher. So dirty, isn't it? Taking down Oscar, but a great refrag from Sunny. This time he comes out on top, and he does stop for a minute and thinks, wait, I can't just run back. I've got to smoke it off now. He's lingering around a bit, but might be worth it to just fall back here.
I actually love that play from Flusher because I think Flusher's thinking there, if the CT is pushed just even a little bit away from danger, like towards A long in the deep spots, or even more defensively, I'm going to beat his timing by just running straight up middle, and I'm going to cause a rotation just because they know I'm doing that. And that's going to allow my team to have all these openings. So I think he's unlucky that he just went down in that sense, but his team's still alive with a chance here, and this boost though from Sonny could be critically damaging for Fnatic, and indeed, it looks like it's good enough to shut down the round. It's just Crims who remains.
Tapping away, taken down by Stico. 5-3. No bomb plant for Fnatic, not in the last round either. That's going to start to stack up. That's a lot of money that they're missing out on. So, and yes, I mean, the fact that Sonny just kept looking middle, said, Robs, you've got the bombs, that's fine. Didn't really need to do much. Very well done indeed. And Fnatic, they're going for a tactical timeout. I think they may have.
Yeah, I wonder what their read of the situation will be. I think, honestly, the style of play that they were talking about, that you play like a very solid default and you branch off of it as to how you see your opponent's defense being, I think that's an amazingly good way to play Cobblestone, because it's really hard for the CTs to actually get a push, and it's much easier for the Ts to make the round always look the same. So it should be a suitable side for Fnatic.
I agree. Now, can you phrase that in the form of a cheese metaphor?
I don't. I really need to cook. Where's the Semler? There should be a button to call Semler in here.
Summoning Semler. The 9th round is about to commence. It looked like Fnatic wanted to put a lot of speed behind this. Chris is going to stop JW right in his tracks, and Stico's on the bomb site. Mousesports, they don't really need to swing out wide here. Just wait. You've got everything covered. You've got Sunny right behind the door here. This should all be just fine. Crims did get a kill on Chris, and all they need to do is hold tight, and that's going to be the end of the round here. 6-3. Man, that's a lot of rounds from Mousesports on the CT side Cobble.
It really is, honestly. And if you consider that they won the pistol, it was crazy stuff from Chris, and then the immediate like double deagle from Crims to like win that. In fact, no, it wasn't even the forced buy. It was the following. Was it the following? It doesn't even matter. Either way, the point is the fact that Mousesports didn't actually start off very well at all, yet they've still been able to convert a 6-3, which really gives you a lot of confidence. As you said, if you get that strong CT side, we expect Mousesports to be able to carry that on the 3rd map to a victory, and that would, of course, in doing so, eliminate Fnatic. So big pressure on them.
Yeah, it's starting to look a bit questionable. Fnatic, they like taking long, and they've been pretty successful. There's JW taking down Robs. That's a huge kill to start the round off with, and Oscar has to fall back. That smoke makes him very nervous. He's also alone on that side. I feel like Fnatic have great success taking mid and long. They just don't always do anything with it.
And that's half the battle, isn't it? Is once you get that map control, how do you convert? I think that's an age-old difficult thing to answer on Mirage as well. And Chris J, he knows how to answer things, just pushing in with the AWP, gets himself a cheeky angle, gets ahead of the push, picks off a player. That is going to cripple Fnatic now as they are down in numbers, down to 4. But still even to Mousesports 4 as well, as Oscar goes in for a look in here. What's going on in A-Long? Smoke dissipates. Then flick comes in. Great stuff there from Oscar. And now Fnatic are a bit desperate. They've got to go for B.
It's a very refreshing CT side for Mousesports. Sort of late round aggression, taking peaks and fights when Fnatic aren't expecting it. You don't always see that. People get very complacent playing CT side Cobble. JW turning around at exactly the wrong time. That's not good news. He's going to go for the fight, but he is down. And Flusher and Golden, surely they should have no chance here. The bomb is dropped right in front, and Flusher with a great headshot. But it will be the end of the round here. 7-3. And right now, I'm worried for Fnatic.
Yeah, they're in this horrible spot where now the money's starting to get like very out of hand for Mousesports, which means that there's no real easy rounds ahead for Fnatic. There's going to be a hard grind against buy upon buy, and we get a pause here. It can only be a timeout, a tactical timeout for Fnatic. Indeed, it is. Fnatic taking a moment to discuss exactly what they want to do. Let's see if Jumpy can give them a hand as well.
Going over the last battle plan, saying, I don't understand. We put the cheese in the mousetrap, and you know that was the plan. That was all we needed to do, and somehow it's not working. How can that fail?
I don't know. It seems like a very natural thing. You know, we to be fair, actually, as I say that, you know, I mean, this is some Tom and Jerry action, really, in that sense. You know, the mouse is outsmarting the what should be the apex predator in that situation.
Yeah, that's a good reference. I like it. Maybe Semler could draw some of that for us. I would enjoy it.
Yep.
Oscar is doing very well. He's just got slightly over 100 ADR, so it's nice to see him having an impact. Still think he could be doing even more, but he's not really feeling comfortable with the AWP, it seems. And Chris is going to continue onto it. They don't have the double setup either, even though they had the money for it. Uncomfortable grenade landing at JW's feet.
I always love these nades because it really makes sense because of the forward smoke the CTs play. It makes it so that the Ts don't want to give up that map control by just hiding behind the smoke. So to push forwards, you're going to have to hold that fort here because Chris J is going to receive the full force of the Fnatic force as they come in with these pistols. The CZ's raining true. The Tech 9, in fact, being the one to do the damage as we'll get Robs tapping away by the statue. But he needs help. Desperately needs help, or perhaps he doesn't. Pushes out from the smoke, gets himself an extra one. Now as the bomb needs to go down, but it doesn't even matter. The pistol's doing insane amounts of damage, but Oscar cutting off the path to that bomb as he comes in from the back with the M4, but Lecro turns his eye, and that'll be the end of Oscar. Wow, explosive stuff.
It's a great opening for Fnatic, but I mean, it's really impressive. Robs pushes in behind the flashbang, but why doesn't Sunny get this kill on Lecro? It seemed like he had everything going for him. I mean, it's really impressive by Lecro saving that round for his team, but I'm still confused as to why Mousesports didn't just sort of pick it up relatively easily. So, a window back in maybe for the Fnatic team. It's been a while since they've had anything to say here on Cobblestone. 7-4 and 12th round. AWP on JW, and now we've got the Oscar and Chris J double setup.
Absolutely. We've been waiting a while for this to see as much AWPing as possible from Oscar and Chris J, so I'm happy that we're getting there. And Fnatic looking like they do want to keep things simple. See how effective that is. Slower approach here. Not using as many grenades. And oh, there's a spot, and that's very dangerous. Chris J has to hit the shots. Connects onto Lecro. Very crucial. However, the pressure from Crims, the splits from drop zone, it was looking good, but Chris is going absolutely insane! Chris J! Do you need anyone else there? 4 kills for him, and the round is Mousesports.
I mean, that's just so outrageous.
Is that you are?
You know what you did, Chris. Don't look at us like that. You know exactly what you did. Holy hell. Look at this.
You're kind of talking about it like he's a pet that's just, you know, gotten into the pantry or something. I mean, looking very innocent. It's like, you know what you did.
It is a sniper rifle. It has a scope on it. You're supposed to look into that scope before you fire at people. It's not a shotgun.
That's very true.
Well then. 8-4, and we are moving into the 13th round as Fnatic, they had just a bit of hope, a sprinkle of hope there, and just gets completely taken away by Chris J. Very brutal indeed now. Again, they've got control of danger, but it doesn't give them that much. Sunny and Oscar are going to be falling back and just saying, all right, fine, you can have it. You haven't done that much with it so far. It could be an A crunch here if JW and Golden can make it down drop and take out Robs.
I like it, you know, fast map control. It's always good to see, and it's really cool too that they have danger and the bomb is currently there. So there's lots of, again, we see this. I think you pointed this out, Anders. You know, we're seeing map control here from Fnatic on a variety of rounds, but they're not converting on it as you'd like to see. And right now they're getting really just taken advantage of by these AWPs. I suppose it's really fitting that Chris J is the one to no-scope the likes of JW though in the previous round. I guess it's, you know, only fair.
Some justice in the simulation, you're right. Oscar with another couple of, I think 3 kills in fact in that round as we move into the 14th, nearing the end of the half and also the end of this series here. And Fnatic just look, again, a bit lost, as they also did slightly on Mirage. Not quite the same power and the same role that they had going on Train. Gotta be a bit worrying. Jumpy trying to get the troops back and fired up here. But for the 14th round, I mean, I wonder. Mousesports look very confident and comfortable right now.
They really do, and it's very encouraging to see because it's, again, after, you know, some of the trials and tribulations that they've experienced after the recent results in, you know, Mykonos and the recent confidence given to them, that it's very depressing for you to see inexplicable failure after that. You know, it's like, wait, we just can't play our game now? That's what's happening there. So it's good to see that they're getting the ball rolling.
Okay. They're going to keep running through the fire right into Robs' open arms, and that's just silly. Golden goes down last. I hope that wasn't what the tactical timeout was about. Although we have seen in the past in this game that Fnatic have had issues with fire and exactly how it functions.
A lot of teams tend to like to take that tactical timeout right before, instead of like this round now.
Yeah.
They like to take it before the eco round starts.
Yeah.
As well sometimes. So perhaps that's what it was all about. But that said,
last chance.
So
one more. That seems excessive.
They figured out how fire works now, Anders. So
yeah. So hold on. The plan was great up until the point where the fire was on the floor. They don't have any more timeouts either, by the way. So that in itself is a bit strange. Don't always see that. Usually people save a couple for the end if it happens. Especially rough if you're in overtime suddenly and you don't have any. Well, I mean, this is a really interesting game. I wasn't really seeing Mousesports get this deep into it, especially not on the CT side, especially after they won the pistol and then lost the follow-up round. I thought, oh no, this is Fnatic's time to shine, and then they brought it back.
I completely agree. I think it's somewhat due to the fact that there is still work to be done for Fnatic. I think you really put it very well. Just that there is the struggle to develop the mid rounds once you get some of the map control out of these defaults that they go to time and again. And we'll see whether or not they can just eke out this last round. They've got a few AKs, a few grenades left at this point, and they'll just get that split onto the B-bomb site. But it's going to be tough against Mousesports because they look pretty hot right now.
Oh, it's a big presence and drop right here for Mouse, though. This could get dangerous. Golden goes down, Lecro as well. Why can't they get the openings here? Finally, Flusher is there with one, but it's way too late. He's got a couple of kills, and Chris will take him down. 11-4 finish in the first half in favor of Mousesports here. 5 more rounds, and they will make it through to play Immortals in the next game. It's not quite done yet, but what a first half it was. We'll be back right after the break with the second half. Stay with us. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. First half is done, and what we have here is Chris J just pushing the boundaries of reality, Dan, taking down everybody with absolute ridiculous no-scopes. They just couldn't put a stop to him, and in the end it was 11-4, and you see how he's actually improved quite dramatically throughout the day. Train was the first map, then Mirage, then Cobblestone, 107 ADR towards the end here.
Yeah, it's great to see him get going in this way, and Chris is an interesting player to watch sometimes, quite emotional. You can read him quite well, and even in a lot of these great moments, even though we see that improvement in performance, he's still just as focused and razor sharp. When you look at him, his face is just intensity, and this you can see why this is an incredibly important match. They position themselves wonderfully. Imagine if they were to win this pistol. It's a must for Fnatic here to have a chance.
Rushing down, we spoke about Chris, and he's leading the charge with the C-set 75. There's only one person on the A bomb side, that's Flusher. If he goes down, this could unravel quick. Golden with a headshot though, dropping Chris at a second to take down Sunny, and Flusher comes sneaking out of the vent to take down Stiko. And I mean, that was almost good for Mousesports, but they got slowed down enough by Golden's double kill, and then it just fell apart.
The Flusher move out the vent there reminded me for some reason of, if you played Half-Life 1 single player, I'm sure you did, Anders. There's like the ninjas that are coming out the vents and stuff.
Yeah, I played it like 2 years ago. I replayed the campaign.
Awesome, awesome.
It's that good.
It is very good.
Whenever I run into people who say they haven't played it, it makes me sad. I stop talking to them.
It's worse than not having seen Star Wars.
Yes.
It's like on the same level, almost.
Don't say that to Richard. Say it to Moses.
Okay.
Robs now waiting in drop, or above drop, hoping that someone Fnatic will make a huge mistake. Because surely he's not saving the Glock.
Yeah, and it may seem like, oh, what's the point? But he can get extra money, which can be an extra smoke grenade, at the very least. There's definitely a lot to play for in that situation. So I do respect Robs, just taking his time and trying to get whatever he can out of this situation. And especially considering the fact that, once again, this is a pretty decisive pistol victory here for Fnatic. And, that CT side can be tough, but obviously, if you are able to get the momentum, get the AWPs first, play at least at your comfort by winning that pistol, then it can become problematic. And we've seen Mousesports have struggled sometimes to keep their foot on the gas, and when things like this happen. So, I'd be curious to see if Fnatic can hold on to things here, or if these Deagles will be just enough to break them.
3 of them, in fact, and we'll see what they could do. Rob's certainly one of those players that has the raw aim to make this one-shot pistol work. Looking for it on Lekro, but not finding it. That will be a bit of a warning shot to Lekro, though, saying, maybe don't peek that too much. Might not be worth it.
Especially after that Mirage 2-1 Deeks that he had on a round just like this.
It's great damage onto Robs. Lekro did the first, then some grenade follow-up, and now he's down to 24. If Fnatic can win these next couple of rounds to make it 11-7, then, I don't know, it's an open game again. Rob's charging in close with a Deagle and knocking out JW. Lekro goes down as well. Mousesports trying to get back in quick here in the second half. They have the bomb plant as well. This is already a fabulous round for them, but could Sunny do more with the Deagle? He's down on the low ground now. Was a good flashbang. They've lost Oscar, and Sunny's fallen away as well. Stiko will drop. Bit close for comfort there.
Wow, the damage there. How did Robs just... He was on, as you said, he took so much damage. He had like 25 health or something. Oh, there's some fire there. I'll just run through that and quickly one-shot someone with the Deagle. Makes a lot of sense. That is crazy. They almost got 4 kills there. In fact, very winnable round in the end. Beautiful work from Mousesports, and Fnatic will be feeling that round for a couple rounds to come.
Now, did Mousesports tempt themselves to go for something crazy here? It's one of those things, because it was down. It was a 2-on-2 at the end. So that's one of those positions where sometimes a T side will think, okay, we got the economic damage. We could have bought maybe like 1 or 2 AKs and then C sets for the rest. We'll go for it. But Mousesports have not. They want all the rifles. They feel confident in the T side.
Yeah, I like that a lot. I love when a team does show confidence in having all the guns and utility and saying, you know what, we'll just outplay you, and instead of trying to get a bit lucky and play the odds more. And some teams do prefer that style, but Mousesports definitely a team that has, or likes to have, a structured approach. And right now just chilling. They've got the Deagles, a couple of Deagles here to try to get some additional damage done. And it's a shame that Rops took that initial damage. We won't be seeing him with a Deagle for the rest of the round now. Being passed on to teammates with healthier situations, and looks like a similar round as to the last one.
One flashbang setup, probably going to force JW back. Lecro, though, still in position. Actually, JW does get the kill. Good job all around on Fnatic here. It's a nice headshot from Oscar. Good they gave him the Deagle. That's 2 kills in the round for him, and this really matters. This is really important right now for Mousesports to do the damage, get some of those rifles away. Couldn't get the third, but that's still a pretty good job overall. Now, Mousesports are going to have an economy. It's going to be pretty good as well.
Yeah, they've done so much good work here. And I really like that you can see in these rounds that they have a strong sense of what they want to accomplish. I don't think they're under any illusions that they can necessarily get a bomb plant. I don't think that's the main priority in those rounds Mousesports are playing. They're thinking, we have the Deagles, we want to get economic damage. We're going to play the round to focus on that goal first. If we can get a bomb plant too, that's great. But moving into the buy versus buy situation, Mousesports have already sent Fnatic a little bit off balance with the damage that they've done in the previous rounds. Now, if they were to win this round, Fnatic would be in a lot of trouble, economically speaking. So this is a really important one.
You are absolutely right. The Swedish team just don't really have the money. They can't start to lose rounds now. Oscar and Robs are playing very well at the moment for Mousesports, and for all the Mousesports fans out there, that's what you want to see. That's so good to have them on the top of the scoreboard. We've been asking about Oscar and where he's been for a while now, but this game he's certainly shown up. Sunny gonna try and fight the fire, and he runs right into Flusher with the AWP. Cribbs gets one, but he couldn't follow it up, and Flusher not gonna go and take the fight, which is smart. They still have the man lead. Robs is down and drop, and he's gonna be knocking JW out of the round. Almost the second fight there, but Golden will come out on top.
Yeah, that's a really nice shot by Golden. Robs was fast, but not fast enough in this instance, and that could be the move that changes things here for Fnatic as they move to a man advantage, or stay rather with the man advantage, and Mousesports start to meander their way towards the B-bomb site. There's only one man to respond initially, that's Lecro, and he's going to start to communicate that the grenades are down. That's a great counter grenade there, forces the use of smoke, slows them down. Now the rotation's coming in. Bomb drop, there's the trade coming in from Oscar. Bomb collected, 20 seconds to plant it though. This is a tough one for Oscar, but we saw it from him yesterday. Even a worse situation, he managed to pull it out the bag, but he can't this time. Golden once again, very quick.
It's nicely done for Fnatic, and I mean, that counter Molotov was so good. That essentially cancels out the flashbang that Oscar was putting in. That was supposed to set up the whole thing. They had to wait, and then that flashbang meant nothing at all. So that's incredibly well done. 11-8. Fnatic clawing their way back, crawling out of the grave. The cheese still alive.
I don't know where you're going with this. The grave, the grave, and the... I don't know. It's getting really weird, Anders. It's getting super weird.
Maybe it's like molten cheese, but it gets better as it, you know, as it gets worse. Does that make sense?
That can be a thing, I'm sure. I don't know. I don't know. I'm trying to be a supportive co-caster, but I'm struggling. And
I appreciate it.
I'm trying to help you out, man.
Listen, I've told you we're blaming Sam for this. He's the one who architected this whole cheese narrative that we're trying to keep up with.
I know, right? I'm interested as to how the conclusion will pan out now. I'm really invested.
Yes.
Either way, we'll have a bit more of it until this one's closed out. We've only on round 20 here. Some damage attempted by Mousesports as they work with the pistols, but unfortunate so far. They are being ultimately just mowed down by the superior firepower of the Fnatic side. Now the Swedes, they are a mere few rounds away from Mousesports. It's closing up. Are Mousesports losing the grip of this match?
I mean,
there's no rounds for them yet.
No, there's none. With the 11 rounds they got in the first half, I think that, I mean, again, it's a heartbreaking moment if they can't close out the game. They were able to do a Mirage, even though it wasn't easy. This time they look to be struggling a bit more, and what's worse, Fnatic's economy is starting to slowly creep in the right direction. Mousesports could buy whatever they want in this round. I'm interested to see how they're going to try and play this. I would actually like to see just a regular old B execute. Two drop, 3 plateau, wall off the bomb side, try and see what happens.
And they can even pull it off, you know, even with the AWP, it can work fine. North they showed the execution of that with the AWP yesterday. It can work really, really well. I would love to. I love that thing where you do that a couple times and then you just go for the super fast timing down at A mid, just to counter any four-man setups early in the round from the CTs on the B bomb side. But Mousesports have been opting for these defaults, and we saw that on Train as well, that they didn't really like to go for the set pieces all that much, which I found quite strange. Looking to instead get things done by trying to push positions, but you rely upon your players hitting those entries. And if they don't hit the entries...
Look at how far out Robs is. JW has no idea. Robs, if he could have opened up on Lekro, that would have probably been the round, but Lekro's a bit too quick with the stolen AK-47. Trying to get more tapping away towards the plateau, and Mousesports looks like they want to follow this up. Sunny's up there with the bomb now. He's dropped down to the low ground and making his way onto the bomb site. And Fnatic on the other side scattering, trying to see if they can find the right angle, trying to look over the smoke. And Sunny's got to kill Stiko as well. And there's another one. Stiko with a double. Leaves Lekro alone in a 1 versus 3, and he's got no chance at all. Big round for Mousesports.
There it is. Opportunistic play, as you say, off the back of Rops's forward position, gets the entry frag, creates the space for Mousesports to move in, and they hit the shots they need to along the way with that good team play and the use of utility. Really great round in that sense from Mousesports, and you can see JW not really too impressed. Not too impressed.
No, definitely a bit annoyed at that one, and I mean, the fact that Robs is snuck in all that way, I think JW was just scoping on the other side. He just wasn't even aware of what was going on there. So that's a big problem.
Yeah, that's one of like the worst ways for your teammate to die, because then you feel terrible because you made the mistake to allow that player in that position. You're supposed to be watching that, and then your teammate feels annoyed. It's like, come on, that's not my job.
Yeah.
But I'm sure Fnatic are it's not going to get to them.
No, those kind of debates you tend to take after the game and not in the next round. Though, I mean, for up-and-coming teams, that's a big problem. That happens way too often. Where someone says, I thought you said it was clear. I thought you'd already checked that. You know, not the kind of vibe you want at this level. 22nd round, scoreline 12-9. And now Fnatic's economy became a really big deal, because otherwise they would have had to eco. But they did have enough to buy in this round. Still got a chance to keep it alive. If Mousesports win this one, though, they're going to be excruciatingly close to winning the game. Sunny flashing himself in on long, and Crims will have heard those flashbangs, so he's going to fall back.
Yeah, sensible play out of Fnatic. And 40 seconds to go, they know that Mousesports need to commit something quite soon, and when they start to see the first grenades, it's unlikely it's going to be some elaborate fake. It's more likely to be a commitment onto a bomb site. Oh, that's not supposed to happen. That's a missed smoke. That's very unfortunate. I wonder which smoke was missed there.
I think it was the door one.
Oh, yes, right.
Or it's the one in the middle, but yeah, there's a huge gap in the middle in front of the truck. Is it going to cost them? It will. JW had the opening. So one simple mistake and Chris is now dead. There's 9 seconds left. Fnatic looking really good in this round. Crim's going to get a quick double with the FAMAS. And Stiko and Robs are saying, well, that's it. We're just going to leave. Stiko does take a couple of people with him, though. Not bad.
Yeah, this is very problematic, and it could just be by the nature of the fact that the team is so new that we're seeing perhaps a lack of the executions, because perhaps it goes like this too often and they just miss the smokes, or because this is a bit messy from Mousesports.
See, I wonder, did people call it out, or I think it was Chris that went down to the gap in the smoke there. So his friend, he's coming up from the ramp, right? So his friend's telling him, don't worry, Chris, the wall is down, don't worry, just trust in us. Fingers crossed it's all going to work out great. Man, that's a terrible way to lose a round, because otherwise, what a cool setup.
No, absolutely. That's the thing, it's like you didn't even get to play the round properly. So it's like, you set everything up and you're looking to be in an advantageous position, and you don't even know if it was going to work or not, because if your call was good or not, because you messed up the play. And that's, again, a cheeky peek from Crims, and he's going to fall back, and the smoke is down to protect himself. He's got the pop flash there as well to get himself into a new position, and they're not going to force the issue. Crims has done phenomenally well here.
Still sticking around. Bit of a flashbang that he doesn't and shouldn't try and capitalize on through the smoke. Definitely not worth it. Plus, they have the man lead, so just keep it cool. He's got a bit of a setup here with Golden. Him and Crims. Very hard if someone peeks them to get both the kills. And instead, Mousesports are deciding, look, we're going to move the other side. But look at the damage they've taken, and they've lost Oscar. This is going to be very tough. How did they get back in this round, Dan?
Well, without the sufficient amount of grenades, they're going to need a lot of fortune. Lady Luck needs to play into their hands as they are now going to suffer the grenades of Lecro and the follow-up fragging power that he has from Stairs, and there's no positioning to work from, there's no teammates to work from. Flusher unable to style upon Stiko,
Yeah,
but that's fine.
Why is he trying? Did they lose the AWP to that? Yeah, they did. I mean, it's just...
All right, that's fine.
It's just, it's not actually even a small thing. That's actually a big thing. I have no idea why he did that.
It's loving life, Anders, that's why.
Yeah, I mean, just not his own. I don't understand. Well, I mean, that's a rebuy that he's actually not even going to rebuy the AWP. He's just decided to give up on it, but still a bit of a shame, I would say. Great job from Lecro. 12-11, and Mousesports with a tactical timeout now, wondering how do we put a halt to this Swedish train? How do we make it stop?
It is definitely very scary, isn't it, at this point, because...
If it was a Danish train, all it would take were leaves, Dan.
Yeah,
Public transportation in Denmark's horrible.
Really? Is it that bad? Because
Yes.
because I was going to say, like, in the UK, I was already like thinking about that. In the UK, we need like 1 centimeter of snow, and that's just GG for the entire country.
Yep.
Chaos. We have no infrastructure to handle this.
I'm glad to hear that it's not just Denmark, then. We suffer from similar things. It does surprise the transportation system every time it happens.
Yeah.
Flashbangs are coming in towards Drop Golden. Not flashed, but half the Fnatic or Mousesports team were. And he's going to get a good couple of kills there. They will steal the AK-47, but doesn't make up for the fact that they don't have any armor. So they made some progress, but it's hard to see how they get out of this. This is very creative, though.
Yeah, I love this one. Will not amount to too much, though, just yet. But Mousesports, I mean, they can afford to just... Okay, never mind. They got annihilated. They got deleted from the simulation, Anders.
Yes, and I mean, they were just trying to boost. There was a whole friendship thing going on there, but that gets cancelled, and now the scoreline is tied up. We are at 12-12 after Mousesports. In the second half, they've won only 1 round. Every other round has gone to Fnatic. This is bad news, isn't it? Oh, no.
Tragic.
At least they went at the same time. No one had to miss the other one. It's good.
Oh, man. Well, you know, as they say, worse things happen at sea. As James knows. James is on a dive recently puked during the dive into his
I heard about that. And apparently it's such a common thing that that everybody knows about it who's into diving. So
yeah. But
still, I think that's a good story.
Puking into a regulator does not sound like too much fun, I must admit.
12 as we move into the 25th round after the timeout here. Mousesports, what is going to be the plan? I mean, there's lots of things they haven't tried yet, so there's still options. I still feel like they sort of failed the execute before where they tried to cut up the A-bomb side the other way. That could be interesting to see again, and if not that, maybe at least just get the long control early on, which it looks like they're trying to do here with Sonny and Oscar on a bit of a skirmish towards that side of the map.
It doesn't really seem to be an issue, like having all the nades going to the right spots. Robs, though, that's important. Gets a quick pick off into the B-bomb site, and he's looking for more here, trying to gain even more ground towards the nice vantage point that is the plateau position, but they will back away actually ultimately, and with Crims in this position, this could be interesting now that 2 members of Mousesports have made their way into A. Does Crims have any idea? This is really weird.
No, Crims doesn't know, but then they don't know Crims is here either. Are they going to boost up?
Oh, this is amazing.
This can end badly in 100 different ways for Mousesports. Like they've got 99 chances to win this, but Crims is maybe the thorn in their side. It depends on where the bomb goes eventually. And Oscar is just looking all over the map. There's finally a kill on Flusher. Now they probably feel pretty sure, and Crims goes down. Sunny goes back and checks, and that should open it up. That's very thorough work coming out here of the Finnish player. JW and Golden now in a horrible position. 2 versus 4. 30 seconds left. Golden hoping for a headshot, but he's going to get taken down. Sunny again doing the work. And that should be the round. Oh, and JW running in with the knife out. Waiting is Robs on the other side. 13-12. And Fnatic, oh god, they've got the money to buy in this round if they want. Only Golden can't, but looks like Mousesports are reasserting a bit of control in this game.
Yeah, this is like that. Going into round 26, having money problems now is really bad. And if Fnatic, as you say, are in this spot where they actually lose this round, Mousesports' chances to actually win this series just skyrockets. So the interesting thing here is that obviously Mousesports are going to realize this. So they need to pick the round which they feel has the highest chance of success right now. It's so important that they just close this one down. The implications are just insane. And I mean, what do you think they should go to, Anders?
I think the weird thing is that so many of these rounds that have been built for Mousesports now have actually just been Robs on the plateau. And it's you know, it's a hard call to make, right? He's done an amazing job. So in a way, you should feel confident saying, Robs, just go and get us another kill at the plateau, you know, just get one more kill ahead. But it's also one of those things where what's the plan B if that doesn't work, right?
Yeah.
So I honestly would probably just do it. And this is how people started playing Cobblestone. I mean, way back in the day, it was the likes of Wolfmeister on Fnatic who would sort of, you know, be a bit of an expert playing the plateau and just going for it. And it seems like they are leading with Rops again. JW trying to get into position to deny any kind of a push, but that might be a good move actually for Fnatic. That's a 4-man flashbang for JW.
Mousesports has to be decisive now because they can't linger. And Rops will get caught through the smoke. That's a brilliant play from JW. Just a cursory few bullets, asking questions, and it will return very nicely indeed. And Mousesports, I don't know how much noise they made, if Fnatic really heard anything, but they sort of ran all the way back to the Dragonlord Tapestry before deciding to go back towards the plateau. And I don't know if they're setting up the split just yet. I think there is a player, indeed it's Stico, who is actually by the drop zone. So I have to see if this can really do anything here for Mousesports. They look committed towards B now.
There's already a huge rotation. In fact, all 5 players are rotating this way. Fnatic, they should be able to win this round almost 100% of the time. Stico got one, but Chris goes down, and JW playing a great angle here. Doesn't get the second kill, and Sunny in a 1 vs 2. Don't do anything right now, Fnatic. He hasn't even got the bomb down yet, just wait it out. There's no point in fighting him. He's very good. So leave him alone for the moment. Trying to jump behind the statue. Sunny gets a kill on Flusher. I have to point out, completely unnecessary and sneaky in there. Crims will shut it down, but that got way too close.
Yeah, it is really insane. You can so easily set up the situation where he's got to run for the plant, and then he has to run through your teammate's angle, and you're sitting like right behind the statue, flush position, and then you know, there's just nothing you can do from that spot. But it's very worrying in a situation like this to see overzealous action. And you can see Flusher giving it a chance. But that could have been Fnatic's chances gone in the series had that not gone so well in the end.
And Mousesports feel like, okay, that was a 1 vs 1. Even if we didn't get the bomb plant and we don't have all the money we need, we're going to go for it anyway. Again, they tried to put Rops on the plateau, try and see if he could work his magic. He's just hiding inside, which he's been doing quite a bit. Now, they should know that he's there. That is a very revealing Molotov coming out. And are they going to be ready for it? Already jumping down. Lecro picks up 1 kill. More members coming in from Mousesports. JW close with the max 7, and he's got 1 as well, leaving Stico and Rops. And Rops is so low on health here. Can he help his teammate out of drop? They've got plenty of time here. And Flusher and Crims waiting on the other side nervously. They are not quite sure where the rest of the players are, I think.
Yeah, this could get into sort of a very long waiting game here, because obviously to go back for the bomb is going to be pretty annoying, and you're going to lose these forward positions by doing so. And you can see Stico really wants to hold on to this position by the drop zone, protect against any players coming forwards, and it's Rops to go down now. Stico has to make the action. Got 45 seconds, so he just has to get the bomb now. The problem is that there's no smoke for him to pick up, so they can cover the cross onto the site, depending on how deep he goes. And there he is, manages to make his way across. No one was watching for it. In fact, both players turning their attention towards the A site for the moment, and that's the perfect opportunity now for Stico.
Yeah, they actually go and check all the way towards A. He's hiding at a very unlikely spot. This is going to be hard for them to check. They do have one flashbang, and that can still ruin his day. But Stico now would be a fantastic time to step it up and knock the wind out of Fnatic. Instead, it's Flusher to find him, checks every corner, and that's a job well done. Fnatic playing it close and tight and not letting go of anything this time. No crazy shenanigans from Flusher. 14-13 here.
Yeah, and I like that Rops did not try to distract himself with JW, because obviously JW is murdering his teammates there. And, you know, we were on Rops' perspective, and because Rops was trusting them to take him down. Because if Rops suddenly just tries to kill JW just at the moment someone peeks from the statue, then the run is lost. So he has to just trust that they can actually do their job there and take down JW whilst he works the angles from Plateau. But this is not going well for Mousesports. I think we're starting to see that they don't have the rounds on Cobblestone. It's looking like this is very difficult for them to put together something with structure.
An unfolding nightmare here for the Mousesports team. You're absolutely right. I mean, they've done so much. They got 11 rounds in the first half. They probably thought that was going to be more than enough, but right now it's a bit of a different story here. Fnatic back in control. Golden with a headshot, taking down Rops, and a great angle here for JW. Going to be instantly shutting one down. There's a team kill in the middle of all of that, so that certainly does not help. And Stico, 5 health. The grenade, if it a bit closer, would have done it, but Flusher will fire as well. 15-13 match and map point here. Mousesports about to be knocked out of ELEAGUE, which honestly would be heartbreaking at this point.
Oh, absolutely. Coming off that win as well so recently, this would be just not just knocking them down a peg, but just knocking them just flat on their back.
Yeah.
After so much success, I think that they would, you know, put themselves, you know, in a much more, like a much higher position than to let's say get knocked out against Fnatic, another new team. And it's the battle of the CT sides so far. I think both teams have been struggling with the T side. Flusher going for a cheeky shot, almost makes it, but does receive quite some damage in the process. And Crims is being put deep there on a long.
Flusher probably quite happy that bullet took the wall as well, because that was the AK from Oscar. So if it hadn't touched the wall, he would be dead. Pretty scary. Falls back and a bit more damage on Flusher. Not quite sure how to find a safe spot to stand in any longer. There's going to be a bit of a crunch from the drop as well, but Golden takes down Rops. If Chris can't win this fight, then the rest of the push here for Mousesports is not going to be good. Stico pushing up with the UMP. He's so close on the bomb side, but does he realize where Flusher is? Hiding right behind, and there's the kill. Flusher finally goes down, and that's going to be the bomb plant. Stico deciding not to check the corner. He feels safe that no one's going to be there. 4-on-4, and here comes the retake for Fnatic.
Flusher did so well with the rifles, but the AWP not looking so hot, and that's a chance now, indeed, for the Mousesports side as they defend this A bomb site. The bomb ticking away. Oh my god, what a beautiful series of kills. Golden with the HE, Lekro with the combo there with that AK-47. Now it's going to be a race to the bomb. It's getting quite close to detonation, and that's a great defense there, just covering Golden on the defuse, and Fnatic have done it. 16-13, and Mousesports have been eliminated. What a ridiculous series we've just witnessed.
I mean, what a play from Fnatic. That second half looking even better than Mousesports was, and they make it all the way through.